Neguselam, welcome in. With the starting breeze, so good time.
Yes, Neguselam, greetings, beloved.
Yes,
Praise Jah every morning. Oh, first thing you do when you get up in the morning. Hail Jah. Jah Jah visit them young without warning. Visit every ugly wicked generation in his anger. Yes, Lord. Managayana, Managayana, Manatan of your descendant, Ayana. Only we got Babylon conquer. Only we got Babylon conquer. 2,000-year-old stamina. Can't mash up all the ancient Hayada. Ocean tea coming in. Fire bingy coming in. Coptic still coming in. Agent just a man that shot the 12 tribe. Hey, 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 oh, hey, from brutality, them profiting now. Generations that rich and they reap without labor. What is the whole of them attempting? With my sentimentality, none of them can tamper. I know business to see your childhood yearbook picture. Only we got Babylon conquer. Only we got Babylon conquer. 2,000-year-old stamina. Mash up all the Asian ocean tea coming in. Lion big coming in. Tell time still coming in. Praise praise first thing you do when you get up is praise in the morning. Thing you do when you get up in the morning. Thing you do when you get up in the praise yes. to leave you with heart palpitations. Don't want to leave you with arrhythmia. Go smooth and easy. Go warm and easy. Like Lionel Richie. Say easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. Want to leave you with a high pH balance. To be getting behind the wheel of your car. Yeah. Want to leave you in the same fullness that I first last saw you in the interior. Yeah. Precept upon precept, line upon line, law upon law, another. Yeah. Beautiful and orderly, well disciplined. This is a dance hall. Look like a church on Sunday morning. Yeah. Look at the woman them. Hungry for food of thought. Hungry for food of thought. Who say they only lustly and flesh eating? None of them smiling and keeping them distance. They're only interested in the food. The food for mind and heart. A song is spontaneity, just like a sunflake. Yes, that's right, a sunflake. Hit a little beam of glass and start a bushfire. One little spark, burn down 400 acres. Everybody got that little electrical spark. Spark, we spark. When we talk, we talk. Go easy. Go in love, go in integrity, go in balance, go in moderation. Go in foresight, go in discipline. Go in hindsight. Go with periphery. Go with perihelion. Word plan. with our red, gold, and green floating o'er us, and our emperor to shield us from wrong. With our hope and our future before us, we hail and we chant and we sing. God bless our Negus high, to keep Ethiopia free, and to advance with truth and right, to advance with love and light, with righteousness leading. We hail to our God and our King, humanity pleasing, one
Neguselam Lekulekemu Malcolm Negatu Abakudus Katamawe Haile Selassie Stiam Exhibit. Give thanks for a new light to do better than we did yesterday and to fulfill our mission that's been bequeathed to we, the Black peoples of the world, in order to ascertain a higher moral tone to one another. For I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Give thanks once again for this session of State of Neguselam. Sila, Sila, Sila. And I give thanks for everyone taking time out of your light, this light, to be here amongst us. You are duly welcome to be here amongst I and I in this time. This is the state of Neguselam, Tawahido Negus, and the glory of Ixihbir leaves the temple with a guest speaker, Negus Kamal Atu, the Rainbow Empire, from Local 12, Rastafari McCunnin Information Committee. This is season 2, session 2, part 3, Tawahido Negus. Negus golden rule: do not reward evil for evil. Do unto others as you will have done unto you. And I am Chaplain Amde Zion of the Ethiopian World Federation, Local 49, Mahel Safari, Stila. This is initiative for the moral tone of the Ethiopian World Federation and Corporate His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I as Commander-in-Chief. Every Sunday at 12 o'clock noon, Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. United Kingdom Time, 9 p.m. Ethiopia Time. Sila, Sila. My ambassador, Zimnagatus the Huda, Sila. The Jashan Shoah, Dashmat Tafari, Sila, the keeper of the door. Yes, I, Sila. Bahama Ab, Wild, Memphis Kudus, Haile Akal, Abba Kudus Kadamawe, Haile Selassie, Siam, Exhibia, Sila Melakat, Bahaman Ab, Wild, Memphis Kudus, Haile Akal, Abba Kudus Kadamawe, Haile Selassie, Siam, Exhibia, Sila Melakat. One is the Holy Father, one is the Holy Son, one is the Holy Spirit of the might and power of divine peace of the Holy Trinity, the embodiment of the power of the triune Exhibit, the one who brings our eyes and precious incense up to the Father. Malakat. Truly, the Father is holy. Truly, the Son is holy. Truly, the Holy Spirit is holy. Through the divine power, the might and power of the divine peace of the Holy Trinity, he who brings our eyes up to the Father, Talaku Mari, who makes the joy bells ring through his righteousness. Sila, sila, sila. Give thanks. Abatachahai Silat. Our Father, who art in Zion, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in Zion. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against I and I. Strengthen us in temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, world without end. Through the true and faithful witness, the might and power of the divine peace of the Kudus Selassie, the Lord's anointed, Sila, Sila, Sila. Abba Kudus Kadamawe, Haile Selassie, Siyama Exhibia, Sila. Yes, time. It's that my back, lightning and thunder, the Lion of Judah, my ambassador, Sila. Negusa Salam, Lekulekemu, Malcolm Negatu, Abakudus Katamawe, Katamawe, Haile Selassie, Siam, Exhibia. Yunugusi, Negasutu, Yadeli, Maskeli, Ethiopia, Kaheb, Nugusi. Inugusi kudusi wede. Amlakana halina wasawana. Hasana. Tata amasagana. 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 Amlakana Hailina Wastawana Hasana Stata Amasagana. The King of Peace be with us all. Blessed rising with the glorious our Father, Holy Father, the victorious, the first might and power of divine peace of the Holy Trinity, the Lord's anointed King, the King's holy coronation, the Emperor's cross of victory. Ethiopia, Star King. Ethiopia, Star King. Ethiopia, Star King. The Emperor's holy coronation. Our God, our strength, our protector. How beautiful are the feet of him that stand upon the mountains of Antauto, that come with good tidings of peace and of freedom and of joy, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlak. Behold, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the King of better Israel. Glory in the highest to our God, our strength, our protector. How beautiful are the feet of him that stand upon the mountains of Antauto, feet like unto burnt brass, who come with good tidings of peace and of joy and of freedom, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlak. How beautiful, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the King of better Israel. Glory in the highest to our God, our strength, our protector. How beautiful are the feet of him that stand upon the mountains of Antauto, with feet like unto burnt brass, who come with good tidings of peace and of freedom and of joy, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlak. Glory in the highest. Behold, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the King of better Israel. Glory in the highest to our God, our strength, our protector. How beautiful are the feet of him that stand upon the mountains, feet like unto burnt brass, who bringeth good tidings unto peace, of freedom, and of joy, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlak. Glory in the highest. Behold, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the Neguselam better Israel. Glory in the highest to our God, our strength, our protector. How beautiful are the feet of him that stand upon the mountains of Antauto, feet like unto burnt brass, who come with good tidings of peace and of freedom and of joy, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlak. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the King of better Israel. Glory in the highest. Sila, Sila. Ethiopia, Star King, Sila. For we, the black peoples of the world, in order to effect unity, solidarity, liberty, freedom, and self-determination, to secure justice and maintain the integrity of Ethiopia, which is our divine heritage, we do hereby establish and ordain this Constitution for the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated unto His Imperial Majesty Abakudus Kenamawe Haile Selassie himself, Siam Mixibir, as Commander-in-Chief of the Mahel Safari forces in accordance with the 1931 Ethiopian Constitution, Chapter 2, Powers and Prerogatives of the Emperor, Article 29. The Emperor reserves the right, with the advice and consent of Parliament, to declare war. He further reserves the right to decide what armed forces shall be maintained both in times of peace and in time of war. As Commander-in-Chief of the armed forces, he has the right to organize and command the said forces, to commission and to confer military rank upon the officers of the said forces, and to promote, transfer, or dismiss any of the said officers. He has further the right to declare a state of siege, martial law, or a national emergency, and to take such measures as are necessary to meet a threat to the defense or integrity of the empire and to assure its defense and integrity. Thus, our preamble, as it is read in accordance with this, we the black peoples of the world, in order to effect unity, solidarity, liberty, freedom, and self-determination, to secure justice and maintain the integrity of Ethiopia, which is our divine heritage, in accordance with the constitutional law and enactment enacted by our king, who is the commander-in-chief. He has further the right to declare a state of siege, martial law, or national emergency, and to take such measures as are necessary to meet a threat to the defense or integrity of the empire and to assure its defense and integrity. Article 30. The emperor exercises the supreme direction of the foreign relations of the empire. The emperor accredits and receives ambassadors, ministers, and missions. He alone has the right to settle disputes with foreign powers by adjudication and other peaceful means, and provides for and agrees to measures of cooperation with foreign powers for the realization of the ends of security and common defense. He alone has the right to ratify, on behalf of Ethiopia, treaties and other international agreements, and to determine which treaties and international agreements shall be subject to ratification before becoming binding upon the empire. However, all treaties of peace and all treaties of international agreements involving a modification of the territory of the empire or of sovereignty jurisdiction over any part of such territory, or laying a burden on Ethiopian subjects personally, or modifying legislation in existence, or requiring expenditures of state funds, or involving loans or monopolies, shall before becoming binding upon the empire and the inhabitants thereof be laid before Parliament, and if both houses of Parliament shall approve the same in accordance with the provisions of Articles 88 through 90, inclusive of the present Constitution, shall then be submitted to the Emperor for ratification. The King established us, the Ethiopian World Federation, incorporated unto he himself as commander-in-chief as part of his imperial Mahel Safari army, those who vowed allegiance unto him, who grew their hair long, Fireball, the Tikur Ambessa, Black Lion Resistance, Abanach, as an auxiliary force, who know how to use modern weapons to match the tide from Rome with their modern weapons and safeguard Ethiopia's divine heritage, according to the 1931 Ethiopia Constitution. Thus, we had the brown condor and the black eagle of Harlem that came forward for Ethiopia's aid to help the forces of the Lion of Judah defend our Mount Zion against the Roman tide. New York Times article of the week, Sunday, October 6th, 1935. The Newsweek in review. The die is cast. Ethiopia strives to repulse the invaders. The Lion of Judah and his warrior men against the Roman war beast Mussolini, empowered by Pope Pius XI. Fireball, overstand that Word from the Mashafa, Bahan, the book of light, fireball, hot, Sila. Isaiah 55:4. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader, a commander to the people. King James Version, Isaiah 55, verse 4. Isaiah 55, verse 4 in commentary, biblical commentary, describes the suffering servant as a witness, leader, and commander to his people. He's a suffering servant, for he had to go in exile from his country to continue the battle in fulfillment of 2 Samuel, to unleash the sword of his mouth of words of justice on June 30th, Geneva, Switzerland, at the League of Nations on behalf of his nation and the black peoples of the world for international morality. Thus, he's described as the suffering servant, leaving his kingdom to go forward. The suffering servant as a witness, leader, and commander to the people. This means that the servant represents Ixibia, leads people to follow him, and commands people to obey him. Explanation: witness, the servant represents and speaks in Ixibir's name. He confirms the covenant that Ixibir made with his people, the Davidic covenant. Fireball, leader, the servant teaches people to profit and leads them in the right way. He leads people out of their own ways and into his ways. Commander, the servant commands people to obey him. He is wise, powerful, valiant, and a courageous leader who is always victorious. The servant calls a nation that was ignorant of true faith. Nations will eagerly run to him to serve him because he glorified the true and living Adhu Amlach, Kedu Selassie Ixibir, fireball, hot, more ambassadors, the Menagada, Yehuda, Abakudus, Kenamawe, Aili Selassie, Siam Ixibir. This man is your friend. He's Ethiopian. He fights for freedom. Fireball, blow ye the trumpet in the Zion. Sound the alarm in my holy city. Fireball, the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated unto His Imperial Majesty, the Star King of Ethiopia, the sight and rising star, fireball, hot, state of Neguselam, a consciousness of innermost peace brought through embracing the reality of our true liberty through our promised Redeemer, the Lord our righteousness, and the Lord our vengeance. For vengeance is mine, said the Lord of hosts. John 14:27. In peace I leave you, mine peace I give unto you, but now as the world giveth. Fret not, and let thy heart be not a trouble, neither be afraid. Fireball. Psalms 101. I will sing of mercy and judgment to thee, O Lord, where I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come into I? I shall walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the works of them who turn aside. It should not cleave to I. If our heart should depart from I should not know a wicked person. He who previously slandered his neighbor, him will I cut off. He that has an high look and a proud heart will not I and I suffer. But my eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with I. He that walk in the perfect way, he shall serve I. He that practices deceit shall not tarry in thy house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in thy sight. For I shall early arise to cut off all weak hearts, so I can cut off all weak hearts from the city of the Most High. Abakudus Kenamawe, Haile Selassie Siam, Ixibir, Sila Melikat, took this vow on November the 2nd, 1930, in front of the Tabot. So under this sun, star, and moon, in this time, we say, blessed is the man, woman, and child, that walketh not in the ways of the weak hearts, nor stand in the way of the sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But their light is in the law of the true and living light. Abacadus, Kedamawi, the last time the first Negus, Rastafari, still makes Zebia. And in the eye law, they take day and night. Therefore, shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth thy fruit in due season. And thy life and thy locks shall not wither. Whatsoever I and I do must prosper. But the weak hearts are not so, but like the shaft before the wind, with the word, sound, and power drive it away. Therefore, the weak heart shall not stand in this judgment, nor sinners stand in the congregation of the righteous. For the true and living light, Abacadus, Kedamawi, the last of the first Negus, Rastafari, still makes Zebia. He know the ways of the righteous, but the ways of the weak heart shall go down to tempestuous brimstone, lightning, and blood fire. Highly, for he shall require the blood of the righteous at the hands of the wicked. And this Armageddon time, no more war, no more fighting amongst each other. Peace, for he who previously slandered his neighbor, him will I cut off. Fireball against the slandering tongue. Yes, I. And this time we will say, Oh Father, be with I and I to do the things we have to do. Give us the strength to help our people in need in this time. We ask our Holy Irie to be with our brethren and sisters in need in Jamaica, in Haiti, in other places who call upon thee in this time, O Lord. Be with them like you was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel in the lion's den. For you are very near help in times of trouble. Give them the peace that they can have peace in one another, to help one another in need and not fight against one another. Be with I and I. Be with them. Give them the confidence and the wherewithal to know, oh Father. All these things we ask in the name of the Most High. Abacadus Kedamawe, Haile Selassie, Siam, Exhibia, Mon Bessa, Zemanakati Zuhuda, Tekla Hamanat, Talaku Mari, Sila, I. Yes, I. The Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, given to I and I. This government, His Imperial Majesty Abacadus Kedamawe, Haile Selassie, Siam, Exhibia, established while living in Bat to show that he still was Negus over his faithful Mahel Safari warriors. This is the petition and the order to show the officers of the Ethiopian World Federation that was delivered to the League of Nations September 13, 1938 on behalf of Ethiopia and the Emperor Fireball. Mr. Joseph C. Avenal, the Secretary General of the League of Nations, Geneva, Switzerland, stir, enclosed herewith are petitions signed by representatives of organizations numbering over 8 million persons. These signatures are representative of the sentiments of the part of the world which believes in honor and justice. They represent their adherence to law and order and their will that Ethiopia should receive that justice which is guaranteed to her by the covenant of the League of Nations. We request, therefore, that you place them before meetings of the Council and Assembly of the League for their earnest consideration. The Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Lorenzo H. King, President, Matthew E. Garner, Secretary. Seal of approval of the Federation. Fireball. Hot. Yes, time. And the executive, Ethiopia is stretching forth her hands unto God. Officers and members of the Executive Council at this time, Dr. Lorenzo H. King, President, Malaku E. Bayon, Medical Doctor, First Vice President, Warren E. Harrigan, Second Vice President, Lee Are Abebe, leader of the Black Lion Resistance on the ground in Ethiopia, Treasurer, Matthew E. Gardner, Financial Secretary, Dorothy H. Bayon, Executive Secretary, F.R.G. Moribray, Blackett, Chaplain, Louise Paul, Sergeant at Arms, Oliver Green, Leah Williams, Louise Williams, elect. Advisory Board, Hugh G. Bell, Medical Doctor, Dr. Mark D. Graves, Reverend Walter Harrigan, Dr. W.H. Jernigan, Cecil Marquez, medical doctor, Dr. Arthur Schomburg, Mrs. Mary Church Terrell, and John West, medical doctor. Selah, Selah. This was delivered to the League of Nations on behalf of His Imperial Majesty. Selah. This was penned September the 6th, 1938. Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, an organization dedicated to the cause of right, justice, and the independence of Ethiopia. National headquarters, 233 1 17th Avenue, New York, New York. Fireball. Liare Abebe, who is Secretary Treasurer Lee Are Abebe, the leader of the Black Lion Resistance in Ethiopia. Fireball. Hot. Ras Lee Are Abebe was our international treasurer to send him the funds from United States of America and arms and with medical supplies to help Ethiopia to get free from the Italian fascist war beast Mussolini. Fireball. Yes. Sila. Highly. Ethiopia Lionsmen. Yes, sir. The different ranks of the Mahel Safari, the Imperial Mahel Safari Army, which is the army of the center of Ethiopia, meaning the guardians of the center power of the Holy Trinity. Fireball, Mahel Safari, like Ethiopia, Tenawi, Mahala, the Ethiopian ancient oath, Mahala, Mahel, Mahel, Fireball, Sila. One officer of the Khyber, Zakbagna, Ethiopia Imperial Guard. Here, this is historical references. Fireball. 2, officer with the lion mane upon his crown and shoulder with the saber. Officer in the Mahel Safari regular Ethiopian army. 3, the Sefina, ordinary soldier of the Mahel Safari regular Ethiopian army. Here we have the origin, root of the word Steph, like me, myself, or yourself. Pray the eye. SELF, Steph, or when you're introducing, yourself to one's, yourself, the word self, what we say in English is self, where we still see the root word of, which is the spirit of the Most High dwells within the I. So that's why in this time we say I and I, for it is the Most High Irid in you that upholds you. When he calls back his breath, that goody, that body falls to the ground. So I and I is the living I within the I. So your self, as stands self, you are a representative. Stila, the Stephana, and it was out of this troop that the ones grew their hair long until the king. Stila, for he shall set us the purifier, a purifier of the sons of Judah, so they may offer an offering of righteousness unto the Lord as in former days. Stila, overstand that, highly I, the Lion of Judah's men. Word from the Mashafa Bahan, the book of light. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they feel the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Fireball. This is a reference to the showdown between the sons of Zion, between the sons of Greece, fireball, that we just coming to see here in this article. The two sides and the two forces, the invasion, the die is cast. Ethiopia strives to repulse the invaders. So it's a barbaric and brutal invasion that has gone on, unprovoked, that is headed and what's going on in Ethiopia at this time. So in this scripture here, fireball, hot, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. The Spirit of the Lord, Adonijah, shall lift up a standard against him. So our King, who's the Lord anointed, shall lift up a standard at that time when the barbarians invade, when they come in like a flood, swiftly, fireball. And the standard he lift was the Moa Ambessa, Huda banner is what he lifted against them, and he gave forth the Mahel Safari prayer book, the people's faith, and the prayer of freedom, so that our faith, our Tawahedo faith, could not be destroyed. Fireball, overstand this. Still, the people's faith, prayer of freedom, English translation, hot, red hot. English translation, the people's faith, prayer of freedom, translated by Sebla Yaminu, Haile Selassie the first, King of Kings of Ethiopia. I pray that I. Can the item still see the screen? Early.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Everything is good. The item can hear?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right. Give thanks. English translation of the people's faith, prayer of freedom, translated by Sebla Yaminu. Haile Selassie the first, King of Kings of Ethiopia, the people's faith, prayer of freedom. This book is published in the 10th month and 4th administrative year of His Imperial Majesty, Kadamawi Haile Selassie, King of Kings of Ethiopia. Addis Ababa, 1936, Year of Mercy, June 13th, 1936, 333, 3000. Selah. 1. We Ethiopians believe Ethiopia is only created for us. 2. We believe that Emperor Kedamawi Haile Selassie is a king by the will of Exibir, of God, and his life is only for our own benefit. 3. We believe that he is our brain leader, and we will follow on the ways that he will direct us. 4. We believe that the safety of our country will be protected only if we obey. 5. We believe that if we serve, we can protect our unity. 6. We believe that there is no full and joyous life without our government. 7. We believe that there is a divine soul that carries freedom in our blood, which won't betray us to slavery. 8. We believe that if we are not willing to serve Ethiopia selfishly, then we will be confronted by the God of heroes on the day of freedom. I pray the item. And this one here, that part got cut off. We believe that if we are not willing to serve Ethiopia selfishly, then we will be confronted by the God of heroes on the day of freedom. So this is the prophecy for the day of freedom. May 5th, 1941 hadn't happened yet. This is 1936, right? Yes, we believe that if we are willing to serve our country selflessly, then we will be crowned by history, which is the judge of the righteous and the wicked. We believe that we don't want to see, hear, or do wrong in our current return heaven country. Fireball. All of these are prophetical because the victory hadn't happened yet. So it's even governing us spiritually how we should think and see after the victory has come and the embodiment of the symbolism of the victory. It's a return heaven country given to us by our King. How beautiful are the feet of him upon the mountains of Antalto, feet like unto burnt brass, who come with good tidings of peace and of joy and of freedom, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlak. Behold, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the King of better Israel. For this is the fulfillment of Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 21. Why are we to keep these statutes and these laws? Why are we to live upful in consciousness and love and mercy to one another? And frankly, to return one another from wrongdoing. Why must we do these things and carry these and give them to our children to pass from one generation to the next generation, that your days may be long and your days may be multiplied in the land, in the days and of your children, in the land that the Lord swore unto your forefathers to give them as the days of heaven upon the earth. Fireball. So this is the fulfillment of Christ's golden parable, Matthew 24, 33 through 36. The heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not. For no angels in heaven, nor creatures on earth, nor the sun, even nor the day when the Lord shall bring again Zion, fireball of the days of heaven upon the earth. So how beautiful are the feet of him that stand upon the mountains of Antalto, feet like unto burnt brass, who come with good tidings of peace and of joy and of freedom, who comes in the most powerful name of our Amlach, the power and might of divine peace, the comforter, the comfort, the faith of all the faithful ones in Iessus Christ, in our Tawahido way, which is the meaning of our name, Ethiopia, the sacred land of the yellow gold that shall be given unto our Lord, that he shall come. Selah, overstand this. Selah, yes, I. So the king on May 5th, 1941, returned to Addis Ababa, coming from the mountains of Antata, coming into Addis, bringing forth the new light and the new day. Fireball, Stila. So, before leaving and giving this unto the army and other places of the army, we printed it so it could be mass distributed to hold the people's faith while he went forward to fulfill the prophecy in Samuel and Revelation 19. Spike the nation with the rod of his mouth. We was given these 10 Tawahido principles of faith to uphold our faith. So 10, we believe that we don't want to see, hear, or do wrong in our current return heaven yantri. The yantri with a king born from the people is blessed, respected, and thriving with freedom. Among the greatest treasures that was given for the world is freedom. A yantri that has freedom is wealthy, respected, and perfect. Societies with no freedom are poor and disrespected, even if they are financially wealthy. There are no contemptuous people than those who are embarrassed to speak of where they are from. People without freedom, even if they are rich, are still poor. If they make a speech, they can't be heard. If they are developed, they still backward. If they are educated, they still illiterate. They are always dehumanized and used as objects by wealthy chauvinists. What differences superiority between humans, knowledge, race, yantri, history is freedom. Those that don't have it are like a body without a soul. Fireball. Overstand that. Our forefathers counted their population as one. When they assigned ranks, they divided as grass match, Keshmatch, Fatarari, and Rast. And this is one unit. The leader of this unit is the King of Kings, Kadamawi Haile Selassie. Siam overstand that as commander-in-chief of the Mahel Safari army. That's why he established an auxiliary force of his army, which is the Ethiopian World Federation, incorporated unto he himself. Fireball, overstand this. That's why we don't have priests, we have chaplains, but this is a warrior foundation upon the battlefield, like the Salvation Army. We are the Salvation Army of Ethiopia, established by her king, Fireball. And this setup is the setup from the book of Samuel, when the people asked for a king, and Ixabir told Samuel the order of the king that will reign over them. Fireball, hot. The leader of this unit is the King of Kings, Kedamawi Haile Selassie. As the body who doesn't have a soul counts as dead, the Yantri that doesn't have a king is not alive. Overstand that. Therefore, the life of our King of Kings is a guarantee of the life of our people. Long live our King of Kings. May our day and night dreams be about our freedom. Sila. Money can buy us everything we wish for except our freedom. The cost of freedom is very expensive. We cannot buy it even if we have millions and billions. The people that know the value of freedom will rather die than losing it. We have to be vigilant. The person that refuses to carry his own weapon will suffer and carry the weapon of the enemy. We learned that during our past times of slavery, the shortcut for buying one's freedom is deeply knowing the value of it and sacrificing life without hesitation. By doing this, we will remove the scars of slavery which entered to us deceitfully. For the Italians were buying loyalty. They came in giving the people money to come to their side to betray their king and their nation. At the Battle of Machao, they bribed the forces to go against the king. The night before the Battle of Machao, they met in a cave under candlelight, and they gave the leaders of those ones who betrayed the king and the nation on that day 30 pieces of silver each and a black kahaba like the king wear. That's what they received. They came with silver to give the people to buy their loyalty against Ethiopia. So that's why the king is emitting here about the money is nothing. Life and freedom is it all, right? So the king gave us this prayer of freedom, the people's faith, the prayer of freedom on 1936, the year of mercy, June 13th, 1936. 1333 and 3000 Ethiopian time that lead us forward to more revelation where the king is pointing forward to in this time to bring us into the fullness. Fireball. So we see the establishment of our faith is from Ethiopia and is the king himself. Fireball. So our origin, our faith didn't start in Jamaica. Or now our faith didn't start in America either. It started in Ethiopia from the Holy One himself to set us right in order with our Tawahido faith. A Tawahido faith. Sila. That was the foundation before they come with this better Christian or saying Christianity. For that. Word from the Mashafa Bahan. Fireball. Isaiah 8:16. Buying up the testimony. Seal the law among my disciples. Fireball. For our faith have become our law through Constitution. It has become our reality. The fulfillment of the Baba Jehoy Salat prayer has been fulfilled. Our Father, who dwell in the upper regions, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom has come. Thy will shall be done on earth. All ones are created equal. and independent through customary law and customary liberty and customary freedom. Fireball. Biblical commentary upon this scripture, Isaiah 8:16. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. This verse instructs Isaiah to preserve and protect the divine testimony and law by entrusting it to his disciples. Here's a break forward. Bind up the testimony. This suggests safeguarding or preserving the divine revelation, potentially through writing it down or making it accessible to his followers. Seal the law. This implies making the law known and binding to his disciples, ensuring its continued observance. Among my disciples, this highlights that the testimony and law are to be shared and kept within the group of followers or students. In essence, Isaiah 8:16 is a call to preserve and transmit the word of Exhibir to a select group of believers, ensuring its continuity and impact. Fireball, word from the King of Kings. Hi. Yes, I. King of Kings speaks on education. Education has value as it is established in individuals of good character with respect for Exhibit. The salvation of our country, Ethiopia, as we have repeatedly stated to you, lies primarily in education. Understand that. As Ethiopia is one, all Ethiopians are also one. And education is the only way to maintain this condition. Understand this. This is the mission that was bequeathed to we, the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, unto His Superior Majesty as Commander-in-Chief of the Mahel Safari. Our aim and objective, A, to promote love and goodwill among Ethiopians at home and abroad, thereby to maintain the integrity and sovereignty of Ethiopia. 2, to disseminate the ancient Ethiopian culture among its members at home and abroad. Why? To maintain the spirit of peace. Because the forces of the Ferengi come in to divide. Because that's the only way they can rule us into is divide. To divide us on tribalism and things of that nature. Previously slander his neighbor and cause enmity between brothers and sisters. So the education is key. Fireball. I read this again. Education. The King of Kings speaks on education. Education has value as it is established in individuals of good character with respect to Exhibit. The salvation of our country, Ethiopia, as we have repeatedly stated to you, lies primarily in education. As Ethiopia is one, all Ethiopians are also one, and education is the only way to maintain this condition. We believe that from truth alone is born liberty, and that only an educated people can consider itself really free and master of its fate. It is only with an educated people that representatives and democratic organs can exercise their influence for national progress. As the gospel tells us, a house built upon strong foundations can never be overthrown by storms. Fireball. Similarly, when people are built up with minds well formed by education and knowledge, no trial or whatever can conquer them. Fireball. For they can't divide them. Understand this. When people are built up with minds well formed by education and knowledge, no trial or whatever kind can conquer them. Education is the law of the wise man. Go and teach. Fireball. But in this message delivered at the commencement services for these generation youths. We notice one thing in this speech that characterized about Jehoiada. So many would say, okay, the prayer book given, is it really from the king? All right, let's see. Remember what we read. This shows us the speaking of the king, right? What the king say. We believe that from truth alone is born liberty, and that only an educated people can consider itself as really free and master of its fate. Fireball. We believe. Fireball. So we had deal with the prayer book given to us by the king. Fireball. It starts every Tawahedo principle and commandment. It starts with we believe. So we know it's the wording of our king in the way he expressed himself on behalf of the whole. One, we Ethiopians believe Ethiopia is only created for us. Two, we believe the Emperor Haile Selassie is the king by the will of God, and his life is only for our own benefit. So the king was given for us. His life is for our own benefit. Fireball, that's the prophecy. Three, we believe that he is our brain leader, and we will follow on the way that he will direct us. So we don't want no teachings for no one else. We don't need no influence for no one else but Siam Exhibit, the Lord's anointed one in this time. Fireball. We believe that he is our brain leader, and we will follow on the ways that he direct us. We believe that the safety of our country will be protected only if we obey. Fireball. We believe that if we serve, we can protect our unity. 6, we believe that there is no full and joyous life without our government. 7, we believe that there is a divine iron that carries freedom in our blood, which won't betray us to slavery. Here we have a different angle of the blood, not shed, but the truth that the holy iron dwells within us and won't betray us to slavery if we listen to it. Psalm 101, I will sing of mercy and judgment to thee, O Lord, where I sing, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when without coming to us? Fireball, overstand that. Ethiopia, Tenari, Mahala, the Ethiopian, ancient Tawahedo, oath. Fireball, give yourself on behalf of others, sacrifice of yourself that the hungry may be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, the infants cared for, and the shelterless sheltered, and the prisoners visited, and those uneducated in Christ's heavenly manner, educated in the manner thereof. Fireball. Hot. Yes, I. So we know these are the words of our Imperial Majesty, for this is how he talked. We believe. We believe. Just as he mentioned in this speech here, we believe that from truth alone is born liberty, and that only an educated people can consider itself as really free and master of its fate. Fireball, give thanks. Kings are not only the guardians of material, temporal possessions of their peoples, they are also the guardians of their spiritual welfare. Select the speeches of His Imperial Majesty, Katamari, Haile Selassie, page 79. So we see the king take care of his people's faith before he went to bat, before he left the country and went forward to continue the battle with the supreme weapon, which is his tongue. As Revelation 19 said, he shall smite the nation with the rod of his mouth, and with his breath he shall slay the wicked. Fireball. Hot. Zechariah chapter 13:1. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and uncleannesses. Fireball. Zechariah 13, verse 2. And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. Fireball. So he's in the standard that he lives, he shall give us the pure faith. He will return us to the foundation of when our nation was laid, and the meaning of the word Ethiopia. The foundation of that is based off our Exir, who promised to us that he will come and one day be our king. For the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Selah come, Shalom, and the gathering of the people shall be unto him. He shall be the Alpha and Omega. He's the first, and he's also the last. Fireball, overstand these things, for he shall come in the name of the Lord. Kadamawe Haile Selassie, meaning the first might and power of divine peace of Kedu Selassie, which is the phrase given this time because he changed it not even as he gave to Moses in that time. Who is thy? I am that I am. He is the I am. I am that I am. A phrase. He exists. I am that I am. A phrase. As it was in the beginning, so has it be in the end. The might and power of divine peace of the Holy Trinity. Who is the might and power of the Holy Trinity? It's Exir, fireball. The name is the power. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Bring us to reward. Fireball. Selah. So, in the prayer book, he brings forth the name and sticks with the name of the king that bring forth. We believe that Emperor Haile Selassie I was made king by the will of God, and that his life is for our own benefit. 3, we believe that he is our brain leader, and we will follow in the way that he directs us. Fireball. So the fulfillment of Isaiah 13:2, and it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the nations of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. For in Revelation, Ethiopian Star King, it tells us about the Lion of Judah, and no one else was found worthy to open the book to the future life of freedom and independence and glory of the black people around the nations, around the earth. Ethiopia, Koheb Negusi, Ethiopia Star King, Fireball. November the 2nd, 1930. On this day, Rastafari Makanin received a new name, Kadamare Haile Selassie, meaning power of the Trinity. Fireball. Hot. Power of the Trinity. Fireball. And the power of the Holy Trinity is Exhibia. Word from the Mashafa Bahan. Fireball. Hot. Where is the theological liberation theology for those who are under the heel of colonialism and chattel slavery and discrimination of segregation, Jim Crow-ism? Where is that theology? These black slaves waiting on Christ's freedom from colonialism describes the theological interpretation developed by enslaved Africans and their descendants who adapted the Christianity imposed by their enslavers to become a source of hope for both spiritual salvation and physical liberation from the brutal realities of chattel slavery and the broader system of colonialism. Here's a break forward of the meaning. Black slaves refers to people of African descent who were forcibly enslaved within colonial systems, primarily in the Americas and the Caribbean. Their experience involved extreme physical, psychological, and social oppression. Overstand that. Their experience involved extreme physical, psychological, and social oppression, waiting on Christ's freedom. This reflects how enslaved people interpreted biblical narratives, especially the story of the Exodus, where God delivers Israel from Egyptian bondage as a promise that Exhibia will eventually deliver them too. For many white enslavers and missionaries, Christian freedom was presented as a purely spiritual state, an afterlife reward, which did not alter the physical conditions of slavery. Overstand that the Pauline Christianity, the papal doctrine that brought and enforced Christianity. It reinforced spirit like a spiritual state that you can only hope for a better life in the afterlife after you die. Were presented as the purely spiritual state, an afterlife reward, which did not alter the physical condition of slavery. Fireball hot. Waiting on Christ's freedom. This reflects how enslaved people interpreted biblical narratives, especially the story of Exodus, where God delivers Israel from Egyptian bondage as the promise that God would eventually deliver them too. For many white enslavers and missionaries, Christian freedom was presented as a purely spiritual state, an afterlife reward which did not alter the physical conditions of slavery. In contrast, Black Christians saw Christ as a liberator who offered both a better afterlife and immediate real world freedom from their suffering and oppression. This belief provides immense psychological strength and was a dividing force, a driving force behind their resilience and eventually abolitionist movements throughout. From colonialism, this places the experience of slavery within a larger context of European colonial expansion and exploitation of resources and people of Africa and the Americas. For after the Emancipation Proclamation of 1865, 64, 65, we get the Berlin Conference and the Scramble for Africa, 1884, as the check making of the people. Fireball. So it's a broader sense of this than just the narrative of those who was carried away by ship. Overstand that. The desire for Christ's freedom was a longing for release from the entire oppressive structure built by colonial powers, which included the institution of slavery, racism, and social injustices. Fireball, hot. In essence, the phrase encapsulates a unique form of resistance theology where Christian faith, initially used as a tool of control, was reimagined by the enslaved to nurture their growing demands for equality and to sustain their hope for eventual total liberation, both in this world and the next. Fireball. Overstand that. Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands. Sila, Sila, Sila. MIA. Ethiopia. Fireball. Hot. The holy son of Ethiopia. Ethiopia Koheb Negusi. Negusi Ngesitu Yedele Meskeli. Ethiopia Star King. The Emperor's Cross of Victory. The cross of victory is the crown of victory. The crown with the mescal upon top. Christ, consciousness, fireball. Overstand that. The light that shines forward. Bahani Alam, Sila, fireball. Isaiah 9, chapter 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. Fireball, hot, but honey alam, the light of the world. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Exhibit, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. Stiam Exhibit, fireball. At this time, from the last time the forward session of the state of Neguselam, we went through the coronations of the emperor, which is the time for I of the holy Sepkat, in accordance with Maskell for this whole divine season that leads us into the Gena. And yet still on November 2nd, the 95th anniversary coronation of His Imperial Majesty Abakudus Kidamare, Haile Selassie Siam, Exibir, and his faithful cohort queen, Etech Eminen, Willetta Georgius, the daughter of the dragon slayer. So we had went forward to the coronation about the psalms that was used of David to crown the king, and we made it forward to the part where the empress came forward into the ceremony for her crowning. So give thanks highly I. So at this time, I will ask if we have present with the next sister online. Is Queen Ifea? Is she online today? Highly I. I pray that I can the item still hear, right? Can the item
Yes,
still see
sir.
the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I.
Yes, sir.
Because I can't see the from this side the people that's there. It's Queen Ifea, is she online today?
Yes, but her mic is still muted.
See la. Queen Ifea, are you able to give a word sound this at this time?
Bless you, Rastafari. I'm here, but I'm not able to speak at this moment.
Yes, I give thanks then.
Yes,
I. All right. Well, I give thanks. I will do we have any more queens online at this time? Any more other sisters are here today? I can't see who's here. Oh, I see.
I believe that was it, Chaplain. The other young lady, she had to go.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Sheila. Um, can the item still hear the screen? See the screen?
Yes, sir. Screen is available.
Yes, I. So
Also,
at this time,
also your guest is here as well. Yes, sir.
all right. At this time, Empress Menen enter the ceremonial hall for her coronation. Sheila. Psalm 45:9 through 14. Of a wedding song. This verse focuses on the queen's beauty in her preparation for the king, detailing her royal companions in her glorious attire, including robes of many colors and clothing woven with gold. It is interpreted as a literal description of a human king and bride, or symbolically as representing the Messiah and his church. Fireball. Psalm 45, verse 9 through 14. King's daughters was among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thy ear. Forget also thine own people in thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. Fireball, overstand this. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. Fireball. So this give a distinction between the king and the queen. For the king did receive holy oil anointing, but the queen, she was not anointed. She was crowned. That's distinguishing. He is Stiam Exibir. She's not Stiam Exibir. She's not the anointed of the Lord. We have to understand this. We have to really understand this part here. Fireball. So hearken, so shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. Right? So her baptismal name shows forth the truth. She's Waleta Georgia, as the daughter of the dragon slayer. She's the daughter of Zion, fireball. And she leads the daughter of Zion's in homage in their role that they play for the nation, fireball. For the king come to establish the new Zion and the new earth and the new rebirth of the mother, which is the matter, which is bringing forth for the garden. Overstand this. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift, even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. The king's daughter is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold. She shall be brought unto the king in raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions that follow her, shall be brought unto thee. Fireball. Selah. Yes, I. Majesty. Psalm 45, 10 through 11. In the King James Version. Fire. Instruct a daughter, a bride. O hear, O daughter, and consider, incline thy ear. Forget thy own house and thy father's house, and promises that so shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord. Worship thou him. The passage is part of a royal psalm, often interpreted as a love song and a wedding song that advises the bride to focus on her new husband. Verse 10, hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thy ear. Forget thy own house, thy own people, and thy father's house. Verse 11, so shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. Psalm 45, 10 through 11, hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thy ear. Forget thy father, thy own house, thy own people, and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. Word from the Mashafa Bahan, fireball. Psalm 45, verse 12 through 15. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. The king's daughter is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold, fireball. The queen robe, her gown had the golden thread and threaded in it, fireball. She shall be brought unto the king in raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions, shall follow her, shall be brought unto thee with gladness and rejoicing. Shall they be brought, they shall enter into the king's palace. Fireball, hot, Selah, give thanks. At this time, forwarding with the coronation, and this time to bring us in even more, I call upon our guest speaker and our brethren, Neguselam Atu, Itomo World Federation, Local 12, Tafari Makanin, Information Committee member, Fireball. So, if you can honor us in this time, Neguselam Atu, I give the floor to you for the Rainbow Empire. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hailers Imperial Majesty Kidama, we Ali Selassie. The Goose Nagasa Ethiopia Mo investors are Im Nagaru Yehuda, Sayum Xavier, Yaber Hanalam. Alongside with her Imperial Majesty, I take a minute and Asafa, Mother of the Nation. Give thanks for the opportunity to reason. Please excuse I for the tardiness. You know, we all dealing with family things. That's my son in the background, my youngest one, Simba. He's sick. And I know, little lion, I know he's very sick. And I myself, I had some surgery on my knee 2 days ago. So you and I reasoned on that design. And to keep my promise, despite the health condition I'm in and my son, I am going to definitely do my best to my promise. And I did put the presentation together with Empire. Please give by 5 to remove myself for here, and I'm gonna my car. So if you want to hold a side reasoning, I did prepare some information as not only from the book called Rainbow Empire, but also from 2 articles before the coronation and during and after the coronation. So again, give me 5 minutes so I can remove myself, and I'm gonna
Yes,
give this
sir.
young man some almond milk.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna He's a
Yes,
little
I.
sick, so I'm gonna give him some warm almond milk, and I'm gonna remove myself and
Yes, I.
go to a quiet place.
All right.
Rastafari, give me
Give
5.
thanks. Give thanks. We wait till the return. Highly. Sheila. At this time, I'll open the floor for other ones to give word sound upon the material. Thus far, I mentioned if you have word sounds, highly I. Sheila. Floor is open.
Yes, Neguselam. Abakidus Kadamawi Haile Selassie Bahani Alem, Medani Alem, Kidani Meharet, Talaku Meri, the great leader who does everything by his will and his way and his right for the merriness of the people. Haile I, Selassie.
Sheila.
I. Yes, family. Well, I would just come in where because last week I just wanted to speak about the Psalm 151, which is the continuation of the Christian story from when the tablet actually left the temple. It came out of the temple with His Majesty. After His Majesty had read Psalm 151, he read the first four verses of Psalm 151, and that is the Psalm, because the Psalms in the Western world only go up to 150. So the Psalm 151 is the continuation of the Christian story in the fulfillment in the second coming and of a second priesthood. For the first priesthood, they always use Psalm 51. It's quite a long Psalm 51, but it's, asking them to forgive Ixiabi, to forgive them for their sins. And in the end, it comes around that he gives them the opportunity to turn people away from sin. There's that is basically the notion of that Psalm 51. But Psalm 151 is a psalm unto David, and it says, I was, yes, Besama Arbo, World Women Feskedus, Ahadu Amlak. It says, I was the smallest of my brothers and the youngest among the sons of I and I father. And he made I the shepherd of his flocks and the ruler over his children. That's my hand, and those are the first words that His Majesty spoke. And then it says, my hands made a flute and my fingers a lyre. Well, this is Rastafari coming in, the musical talent, which was also the flute and the lyre was of David, of King David, the musical, and the drum, the drum, the sistrum, and the makwamia, the upright stick. The upright stick represents the Messiah in the music. So it says, my hands made a flute and my fingers a lyre, and I will render glory unto Ixiabia. I thought within myself, the mountains cannot witness to His Imperial Majesty, nor the hills proclaim. The trees have elevated I and I words, and the flocks I and I deeds. For who can proclaim, and who can announce, and who can recount the deeds of the Lord? Abakadus Kadamawi Haile Selassie. So I thought within myself, the mountains cannot witness to His Imperial Majesty, nor the hills proclaim. The trees have elevated I and I words, and the flocks I and I deeds. For who can proclaim, and who can announce, and who can recount the deeds of the Lord Rastafari? Everything Ixiabi has seen, and everything he has heard and listened. And he sent his prophet to anoint I, Samuel, to make I great. My brothers went out to meet him, handsome of figure and handsome of appearance, though their stature was tall and their locks beautiful. The Lord Abakadus Kudamawi Haile Selassie chose him not, but he sent and took I and I from behind the flock, the Mahel Safari, anointed I and I head with oil, and made I and I the leader of his people and the ruler over the sons of his covenant. Abakadus Kudamawi Haile Selassie. Yes, that's the psalm. So that's the psalm of the new priesthood. So the priesthood from prior is where they're in that psalm. It says, "Deliver I from I will bring transgressions unto thee," and it says, Deliver I from blood guiltiness, and open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. So that was the priesthood of Christ, which was doing away with the blood sacrifice. But now, in the 151, it's done away with the worship of the King of not the worship of Christ. It hasn't done away with the worship of Christ, but it's done away with the worship of the Christ in the first Advent, because in the second Advent now, the from His Majesty spoke that psalm, and then he came out of the church of the cathedral, and then they marched around the cathedral with the tablet from the church. They took the tablet from out of the church and took it around the Kedus Georgis Cathedral, around the outside, with His Majesty and Empress Menin. And all the people were shouted, Hosanna, blessed be the King of Israel. May he rule for 1,000 years. So this is prophecy. This is prophecy, and it is actuality. It is the actualization of the biblical scripture in the coronation of His Majesty and the new priesthood of His Majesty, which will be the Mahel Seferi. We're dealing with the love, the life, the light, and the liberation, continuing the works of the second coming of the Messiah. Aye, Selassie, aye. Kadamawi, aye, Selassie, aye. Give thanks.
King Law. Yes, I give thanks, King, for that 151st Psalm and the reference of that. Yes, I give thanks for a lot of reference in that Psalm, for it also coincides with the scripture, the house, he that is feeble among you at that time shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as Ixabir, as the angel of the Lord before you. So we know the king was small in stature, as it said in the Revelation. You know, the lamb, he was small. In that psalm, he said that I am the least amongst my brethren. Psalm 151. You know, he's not the one that ones would think, because in our mind, an African context, we're looking for a warrior king like Chakos Zulu, someone of great big stature. But no, in this time, it says not by might nor strength, but by the holy iron shall we come through. For this iron is bigger than anything to behold or withhold. So the Psalm 151 reinforces that from the beginning, saying that I was least amongst my brethren. Selah, you know? So give thanks, King, for that word sound. Order, Stifa. Yes, sir. Anyone else have a word sound they would like to enter at this time? The floor is open. Yes, I. Well, I think the brethren has returned. So I will give the floor once again. As the idea, Negus Kamal. Yes, while we're waiting for the brethren to return, I was just going to a little about the symbolism of the victory, and in the prayer book it says we do not want to see, hear, or do wrong in our heaven return country. For in 2nd Esdras chapter 8 verse 52, for unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time has come, is prepared, plentiness is made ready, a city is built it, and rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wise mind wisdom. Fireball, overstand that. Chapter 2, Exodus chapter 8, 44. Even so perished man also, which is formed with thy hands, and is called thy own image, because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things, and likened him unto the husband's seed. 2nd Esdras chapter 8, 45. Be not wroth with us, but spare thy people, and have mercy upon thy own inheritance, for thou art merciful unto thy creature. 2nd Esdras 8, 46. Then answered he me and said, These presents are for the present, and things to come for such as be to come. 2nd Esdras 8, 47. For thou comest far short, that thou shouldest be also be able to love my creature more than I. But I have often drawn near unto thee and unto it, but never to the unrighteous. 2nd Esdras 8:48. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High. In 2nd Esdras 8:49, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. Meekness. 2nd Esdras 8:50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Fireball. Those who walk in pride shall be brought low. Overstand that. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. 2nd Esdras 8:51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. 2nd Esdras 8:51. 52. For until you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time is come, is prepared, plentiness is made ready, a city is built it, and rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wise mind. We have to understand this. The state of Neguselam. Fireball. It's the perfect. It's the place of rest, of goodness, and wise mind. Fireball. Overstand it. But until thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time is come, is prepared, plentiness is made ready, a city is built, and the rest is allowed, and rest is allowed, yeah, perfect goodness and wise mind. Fireball. 2nd Esdras 8:53. The root of evil is stilled up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Overstand this. The comforter has come. He's the comforter. Fret not thyself because of evildoers. Neither be dismayed for the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut off like grass. Fireball. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Remember, the angel with the rainbow laid hold on the dragon, that evil serpent, Satan, and bound him and cast him into the bottomless pit and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations no more. Overstand this. Fireball. 2nd Esdras 8:53. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. For the Most High had not given us the spirit of fear, but one of power and sound mind, in truth and in righteousness, right? And in health and faithfulness, right? The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you, right? As a moth that eat up things, right? And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Exodus, 2nd Exodus 8:54. Sorrows are past, and in the end is shown the treasure of immortality. The 10th Tawahido statue. We do not want to see, hear, or do wrong in our heaven return yantri. The victory of the king. Neguselam Special. The conquering crown, the conquering cross. Overstand that. Sorrows are past, and in the end, it showed the treasure of immortality. Fireball. 2nd Exodus chapter 8, verse 54. Hot. 2nd Exodus chapter 8, verse 55. And there ask thou no more questions. Therefore, ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perished. Fireball. 2nd Exodus 8:56. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Fireball. Overstand that. 2nd Exodus 8:57. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous. Fireball. 2nd Exodus 8:58. And said in their heart that there is no Jah, no exhibit. Yeah, and that knowing they must die. Fireball. 2nd Exodus 8:59. As for the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. But his servants shall eat, and his servants shall drink. But those who are not humbled to be his servants, see, as for things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught. Fireball. They go for naught, for nothing. 2nd Exodus 8:60. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. Fireball. Overstand this. 2nd Exodus 8:61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. This judgment is now at hand. Fireball. 2nd Exodus 8:62. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee. Overstand this. Bind up the law, seal up the testimony upon the prophets. Fireball. My disciples. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. Fireball. Many are called, but a few are chosen. These things, Neguselam, the holy city, the perfect place, where your weakness has already been sealed. The evil has been sealed up. If you allow yourself to be guided by the Holy Irit and see yourself as the instrument of the Most High, working his truth and peace in the earth, then you will fashion your life in like manner. Overstand this. Fireball. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, Fireball. Second Esdras 8:63. Behold, O Lord, now hast thou shown me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed I? Fireball. Selah. Second Esdras 9:1. He answered I then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. Fireball. He's employing to measure the time. For the righteousness of the saints is patience. He answered I then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, Fireball. Second Esdras 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Fireball. Hot. Hosanna, 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 Hosanna. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed be the King of better Israel. Fireball. So in this case, I will give the floor forward to our brethren, Negusa Kamal Atu, to bring forth the Rainbow Empire. Highly. Sila. Negusa Kamal Atu. Highly. Is I there, my brethren?
Chaplain, who are you calling for?
Negusa Kamal Atu. He there? The guest speaker.
Yeah, he's online. Hold on.
Hold on. Give me 5 more minutes, brethren. I'm trying to deal with this young man. Hold on. Give me
All
5
right.
minutes.
All right. Aliyah. Selah. 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 Yes, I. At this time, I will ask, can I get anyone else to read in this time? The screen? Aliyah. Aliyah. I pray that I can the item still hear the screen? Can you still hear and see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Second Esdras, chapter 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world he made. As to this, chapter 9:3. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. Second Exodus 9:4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Fireball. Second Exodus chapter 9:5. For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and an end, and the end is manifested. Second Exodus chapter 9 verse 6. Even so the time also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder, and peaceful works and endings in the effects and signs. Second Exodus 9:7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby you have believed. Fireball. Overstand this. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby you have believed. Exodus chapter 2, verse 9-8. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Fireball. Overstand that. So those the king have called, he have called them from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they have cast them away despitefully, shall dwell in torments. I pray that item. This is all in connection with the holy robes that the king was given and clothed with during the coronation. For the symbolism and the meaning of all the symbols that were included, everything has a symbol, everything has a meaning of it, right? So he come to save his people, for those who shall receive. For the greatest proverb is, my people are killed for a lack of knowledge, for they reject knowledge, right? So everyone will not receive. That's why he said, these things have been shown unto thee, and those who are like thee. Everyone won't be able to see. Right? Exodus chapter Second Exodus chapter 9, verse 8. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So the people who should be able to see these things and witness this and understand it, they have been chosen from the beginning. They have been sanctified to receive these from the beginning. Because unless the Holy Spirit come upon you, you can't receive higher understanding. You can't receive it. Because the knowledge of the Most High is foolishness with this world. And the knowledge of this world is foolish to those who are in the consciousness of the Most High. Second Esdras chapter 9:9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. For darkness and war shall cover them, for they shall walk through the light, and they shall curse their God and their king. They shall walk on into darkness. Second Esdras 9:10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Fireball. They taste of the liberation. They eat of the sacrifice of the peace. So they receive the benefits as all, but they have not known the king, nor have really cited it. Second Esdras 9:11. And they that have loathed my law, while they have yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Overstand. Fireball. And they that hated my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, overstood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. Overstand that. Fireball. High. Second Esdras 9:13. Therefore, be not thou curious how the ungodly shall be punished. And when? But inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. The new heavens and earth is created for the righteous. It is founded upon them. Far right. So overstand second Esdras chapter 9:13. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall perish, shall be punished. And when? But inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. Second Esdras 9:14. Then answered I and said, Second Esdras 9:15. And I have said before, and now do speak, and we'll speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Fireball. Second Esdras 9:16. Like as a wave is greater than a drop. Woo! For he shall stain all his raiment. For he was clothed with the garments dipped in blood. Overstand not the propaganda machine that's working amongst the people and on the people. Fireball. Sila. Hot. I would steal it right there. Fire. Yes, I. I will open the floor again. And to the word sound of anyone there. And we may have to reconvene this state of the Neguselam for the brethren presentation because he didn't know for sure. Other things was going on that he was going to try to bring forward. So I will open the floor up right here again now for anyone to have any word sound they would like to bring forward. Aliyah.
Yes, I for greetings family. Unfortunately, I cannot full take. I just can listen can on a project there. So I have tools working around me. So I just listening, just following it. That's the right.
Yes, I. Could I repeat the I self again? I can't really cite the I with the I
I
self.
was saying like where I am a project there, but like I have tools working around me, so I can full take. I just listening still. I was out on the field, so I was listening still.
Yes, I.
That's the right. And good to be there, man. I,
Yes, I. Give thanks, I. Yes, I. But this is the state of Nagu Salam. You know, this is an exercise for I and I in the moral tone of our federation to bring forth ones and two and enlightenment to the guard our divine heritage and our integrity to start with each one, you know? It starts with each one first as a representative of our integrity and dignity, of our majesty. For to promote love and goodwill among Ethiopians at home and abroad, and thereby to maintain the integrity and sovereignty of Ethiopia, which is our divine heritage. Sila. So I and I had a guest speaker today, but he was going to try to bring forward his presentation today, but he said, you know, he had some things within his family that was going on that he had to attend to as well. So I and I was giving him a chance to be able to come forward again, but the time is moving forward, and I would say we may have to reconvene this state of Negusalam, continue to next strong again, you know, because we didn't want to hold ones too long upon the line. You know, we want to come in and stay there upon line, upon line, upon line, upon line, and bring forth a oneness and consciousness that's given to I and I. But this has not been shared to everyone, but only a few. For many are called, but a few were chosen, you know? So the floor is open for anyone to have upper word sound in this time. Highly I. Selah.
Yes, family, Neguselam. Yes. One thing I would just as we've had a little hiatus in the teaching, I would just say that concerning the prayer of the prayer of faith that His Majesty gave to the army and the dates on the dates where he gives the date of 3,000. Can you tell me the dates, Rasta, what His Majesty gives, please, on the prayer? Rasamdi?
Yes, I.
Elias?
Salam. Leku
Yes. Could you give the
Well,
dates?
it was printed mass, you know, in mass on June 13th, 1936, and His Majesty put the date also there, 1333, and the date 3000. And he's
Yes,
always put a teaching for us to go, and he's just said in the scripture, study the time patiently. Aye.
yes, sir. We'll give thanks. Well, the 1333, when he took that in 1936, 1333, that would take it back to 603. 603 AD. Well, 603 AD is when the after Kedus Yared, the person who created the rhythms and everything, and the church singing and the timing of the church and the drumming and everything and the liturgy, translating the liturgy into song. That was at the time of Kiddush Yared. So that is when the Ethiopian worship became as it is today, as they, the manner in which they keep the music today, and the way of worship and the prayers and the liturgy. And that was from the time of Kedush Yared. Well, His Majesty has pointed to that because he wanted to give the Ethiopian faith, because from the time of the Council of Nicaea, which was 325 AD, and then the alleged acceptance by the Ethiopian Church of Roman Christianity, which is not true. It's the other way around. The Roman Christianity has copied the Ethiopian story from ever since, but then they put their flavor on it. So His Majesty, he pointed to the Ethiopian record of he pointed to the Ethiopian record of Kiddush Yared, when the Ethiopian church, because Kiddush Yared was born in 570, I believe, and this is now 43 years after his birth, that His Majesty has directed the prayers in that prayer book. And then going back beyond that, the 3,000 years, he said he gives 3,000 years. That goes back to 1047 BC. Well, that is the time of that would be the time of the Queen of Sheba. She was on the throne at 1013. She was on the throne from 1013 to 1082 to 982 BC. So His Majesty has pinpointed those two junctions of world history to direct the prayer book to the Ethiopian army, the Mahel Seferi, the freedom fighters for the liberation of Ethiopia. So it's very important that we get to understand that when His Majesty was putting these things forward, he was putting it forward in a historical perspective. So ones and ones, to understand and to take the fullness of the prayer, because in that fullness of that prayer, as our Honorable Chaplain Rasamdi always tells us, there's no mention of Maryam, there's no mention of Jesus Christ. There's only faith in the King and being the brain leader, which means, that's what it is interpreted in English. They're saying he's the brain leader, but if you was to take that back into Ge'ez and into Amharic, I would say that is saying that he is our divine intelligence. So His Majesty's role is far greater than he would have expressed, because His Majesty has always said that let history be the judge. and letting history be the judge, and taking the fact that the Ethiopian church has taken part in this ceremony to make His Majesty this great leader, when they said, may he live 1,000 years, can they be talking about an ordinary mortal? Who can live 1,000 years? They made that because His Majesty, the 1,000 years is a millennium, and a millennium is a Christological value. And just to finish that Christological value of 1,000, that His Majesty's mother, who is the representative of the Queen and the Holy Spirit of the female, she was called Wazira Yeshimabet. That's the lady of 1,000 ladies, the lady of the Millennium Child. So you can see that His Majesty is giving us far more teaching than is on the surface to behold. Yes, I give thanks. Abacadus Kalamari Haile Selassie. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our art ever be acceptable in thy sight, O Holy One, King of Israel. May he live 1,000 years. Aye.
Yes, I. Neguselam Special. Yes, I give thanks, King. True, because it says after the Messiah come and conquer his enemies, he shall deliver the kingdom up to the Father, right? In employing his people to help him reign. He shall open up the reins of government to include his people, government for the people and by the people, right? So after this now, his new kingdom millennium shall begin after the battle and after his victory. He has conquered everyone. Afterward, then his rest shall be glorious, and the dispensation of the Holy Irit shall go into his people, right? To be passed from one generation to the next generation. Then the kingdom millennium shall begin. So after we witness now in 2007, Ethiopia is the only place that was witnessing a millennium during that time, right? So we are in the new millennium as we speak, the 1,000-year reign with Christ. And it tells us in the book of Revelation that those who have put on their garments and covered themselves in truth, right? They shall sit and rule and reign with him for 1,000 years and live with him for 1,000 years. But to the unbelieving and the shameful ones, they will not come alive again till after the 1,000 years. This is the second death, fireball. For after the 1,000 years, evil shall arise again. So those who are not with the king, they are working for the other. And that's the instruments by which they are being used. So we have to understand this in the book of Revelation. Fireball. Those who, through the guidance of the king of perfection, the second death has no rule over them. And they shall be pillars. They shall go out no more. And they shall receive the new name and the new white stone. Yes, I. So I give thanks for those two dates. Bring forward two Renaissance in Ethiopia time of Saint Yarad and the time of Queen of Sheba. So look what the king put me there upon. So I give thanks in this time, for this time. So at this time, I will ask for our president to bring forward our national anthem so we can set up this session of the state of Neguselam and bring forward our speaker again on the next state of Neguselam. Sila. President, if you could do the honor, highly.
Yes, I Chaplain, give thanks. One more.
Got to be in that land of Ethiopia. It's the black man kingdom. Ethiopia, the land of our fathers, the land where our gods of to be. Like bees to our hive swiftly gather, our children are gathered to thee. With our red, gold, and green floating o'er us, and our emperor to shield us from wrong. With our hope and our future before us, we hail and we chant and we sing. God bless our Negus high, who keeps Ethiopia free to advance with truth and right, to advance with love and light, with righteousness leading. We hail to our God and our King, humanity pleading, one God for us all. Ethiopia, the tyrants are falling, who once more be underneath. Children are artically calling from over the distant sea. Jehovah, the great one, has heard us. He has come to protect us from wrong. He has sent his holy angels to guide us and to protect us in this land. God bless our Negus high, who keeps Ethiopia free to advance with truth and right, to advance with love and light, with righteousness pleading. We hail to our God and our King, humanity pleading, one God for
Yes, I. Neguselam salam, like move. Malcolm Negatu, Abakadus Kedamawe, Katamawe, Aile Selassie, Siam, Ixibia. Our Father, who art in Zion, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in Zion. Give us this day our daily bread, and give us our trespasses, and we forgive those who trespass against Zion. I strengthen us in temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, world without end. To the name and power of the true and faithful witness, our Holy Father of this Armageddon, the might and power of divine peace, the Lord's anointed King, the medicine of the world, Abacadus, Gertamari, Katamari, Haile Selassie, Siam, Ixibia, Ethiopia, Tanawi, Mahala. The Most High, Abacadus, Kadamawi, Haile Selassie, Siam, Ixibia is upon thy head like a crown. Now I should not be without him. For his woman for I that crown of truth, that cause his branches to bud in thy night. For Lord is not like a withered crown with budded not, but thou livest upon thy head, and thou hast prospered upon thy head. Thy fruits are full grown and ifit, foot of thy salvation, O ancient king of the nations. Abakadus Kenamawe, Haile Selassie Siam Exhibit. Strengthen thy night that the hungry may be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, infants cared for, and the sheltered, and the prisoners visited, and those uneducated in Christ's heavenly manner, educated in the character thereof. To live by night for the lands by night, enemies that must prove fruitful in these perilous days. And in these perilous days, now the enemies to pass away in the cave, the depths of the sea, depths of the earth, or in the belly of every beast. But grant thy now place in our everlasting king, man, for the name and power of the King of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, defender of the faith, the true light of this world, father of African freedom and African unity. Moambasa zina ratatatatata. I. Abacus,
Ah,
Kedamare, Haile Selassie, Siam, Exhibia. I,
oh, we lie.
I,
I lie. Yes, sir.
I,